Good morning, welcome back to another truck vlog. It's 8 in the morning, a Monday morning. I just arrived at my first pickup location. This location is... I don't really like going here because you always have to wait a very long time before you can start loading. And this morning I figured they open at 8 o'clock. I'll arrive a little bit before 8 o'clock, like 10-15 minutes before 8 I arrived here. And I'm already the 11th truck in line. So yeah, we're off to a great start today, but I'm not really in a hurry because after I have loaded here, I'm headed off to our warehouse where I'm gonna drop off this load, drop off my trailer, and then I have to go to the DEF service center because last Friday my truck gave me an issue. There's an engine fault on the truck, so yeah, I have to go to the DEF to have that checked out. And also my automatic window wipers, they don't work, but that's a small issue. I was gonna wait till the truck had to go in for service anyways, but if it has to go today because of the engine faults, they might as well check it out. So I'm all loaded up. Now I have to go to the other parking site. There I have to show the load, show that I strapped it all on, and then I get my paperwork and we can go to the warehouse. So now I'm headed off to do one more pickup on the way to the office, then head to the office / warehouse, maybe put the truck through the car wash because it's very dirty, unload this, and then head towards the service center. So just finished loading. Apparently there was a colleague here also. Our planner forgot that my colleague was here as well, but it's no issue. He just took 2 pallets and I took the rest with me, so he can just drive on straight to go and unload, and I have to go to the warehouse anyway, so that saves a few kilometers. So yeah, now on the way to the warehouse. It's always a pretty tight corner here. The first one is fine, but then the second one around the building is pretty tight, and I have steering axles with my forklift, so that makes the second corner a bit easier. But then the third corner is a sharp right, and yeah, the wall is on your left, so the steering axles with the forklift on the back make that corner a bit more difficult because you have to be careful to not swing your forklift into the wall. But anyway, I'll see you guys at the warehouse. So I dropped off the load and my trailer at the warehouse. Part of the load can stay in the truck, part of it has to be unloaded, and then something else has to be loaded inside the truck. But I figured I just leave the trailer there because it's a bit easier to go just with the truck to the service center because it's a pretty tight space there. I know these new DEFs, they do have an issue with the injectors, but I thought of this truck they were already replaced. If it's the injectors, then they'll probably have to order it, make an appointment, and yeah, I'll keep driving like this for a little bit. Apparently they forgot to call to the service center, so I don't have an appointment, and it's very busy. But since it's an engine fault, they figured we'll just hook it up to the computer and read it out. But they kind of forgot about me, and it's very busy, so they don't really have time for me. So yeah, I've been waiting for an hour. Now the guys are on break, but they promised me when they finish their break, they're coming to me, they're gonna read out the computer, see what's the issue, and then we'll make an appointment to get it fixed. So apparently at the shop they decided to do more than just look in the computer what's wrong. But they didn't find it necessary to come and tell me what they were actually going to do. So I've waited there for about 3 hours and a half, and then eventually my planner sent me a message like, you have any idea how long it's gonna take there, because I do have other work, you can take another truck to do some pickups today instead of waiting there if you want. So I went and asked them, and they told me, yeah, it's gonna be maybe 1 more hour, maybe 4 more hours. So I'm not waiting around for that. So my planner, he picked me up at the service center, and now I'm on the road with a colleague's truck. The place I'm headed off now is about 20 minutes away from our warehouse, but it's it's a difficult address to get to. You do have to come in from a certain street, because if you go from the wrong street, it is possible, but it's very, very narrow. So you have to kind of know your way to get there. But once you get there, it's fine. This place on his property, you can turn around, so that's not too bad. And I'm doing a pickup there for him, and then that stays on this truck, because my colleague will deliver that tomorrow in the neighborhood of Antwerp. So that way he can stay home today. I can do a pickup instead of just sitting there waiting. And hopefully once I'm finished with this, the service center will be finished with my truck, so I can go and collect it and then probably head home with it, since it's gonna be pretty late. Almost at the pickup site, but this is a very, very narrow street. As you can see, there's not much room on the left between the truck, and on the right it's just as bad. All loaded up. It were 8 pallets with some iron corners and stuff like that for a building site. So now I'm going back to the warehouse, dropping off this truck and trailer so my colleague can take that tomorrow, and then probably give a call to the service center to see if my truck is finished, and hopefully go and collect my truck, but we'll see when we get there. Just parked up my colleague's truck and made a call to the service center. They're not done yet. They told me it will be somewhere this evening. Today I can go and pick it up, but they don't know at what time, so they're gonna give me a call when it's finished, so all I can do is wait a bit. Just picked up my truck. Now I'm at the warehouse picking up my trailer. Tomorrow morning I have to leave to Holland, but it's just for a day. Tomorrow evening I'm back home, and then my truck goes in the shop here, because there are some things that need to be fixed. And then on Wednesday I go to France, but with a different truck. So I think for tonight I'm gonna leave you guys. I'm just gonna drive home. Good morning. It's Tuesday morning. It's a little bit later than when I actually wanted to leave, but I could have left half an hour earlier, then I would have been on time at my customer, even 15 minutes to spare. But I wouldn't have gotten my full 11 hours break. So I decided it's better to take my break from 11 hours, so the rest of the week I have my 9 hours if it's necessary, and be 15 minutes late with my first customer. first customer unloaded and loaded. There were some damaged goods which I needed to take back to Belgium, so those are the packages you saw me put back into the truck. So now I have one more wooden crate which I have to unload very close to the border with Belgium again, and then after that we're gonna drop off these damaged goods back to the supplier. Second customer is also unloaded. I didn't film it because it was about 5 minutes, just one pallet to take out, so that went pretty easy. Now it's a 2.5 hour drive back to Belgium to unload the goods I loaded this morning, and after that I'm not sure yet, but I think after that I'm gonna head to the warehouse to switch trucks for my job for tomorrow and Thursday. Stop to take my 45-minute break. I'm gonna have a quick bite to eat. I could have made it to the drop-off location in my driving time, but it's around noon, so they would be closed anyway. Well, closed. The guys there would also be on break, so there's no need to hurry for me. I completely forgot to film the rest of the day, but yeah, it was pretty hectical. So you might be able to tell, but I'm not in my own truck. I took the truck of my colleague. It's quite dark outside, so I'll show you guys around the truck tomorrow. But yeah, to make a long story short, there were some issues with the truck. The battery was completely, but I mean completely flat. I hooked up the booster, but even that didn't help, so I took my own truck, used some jump wires, and that eventually did the trick. And once I got it boosted, then yeah, I noticed one of the tires was flat, so I had to get a new tire. So yeah, it's a lot later than I would have liked to, and I'm kind of scared to turn off the truck at this point, because if I turn it off it might not turn on again tomorrow morning. But yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'll see you guys in the morning, and I'll show you guys around the truck as well. See you in the morning. Good morning, welcome back. Well, I say morning, but at this point it's almost 11 o'clock, so it's not really morning anymore. So this morning I went to load. The truck still started, so that was great. But then loading went a little bit difficult. Yeah, I had to load against the docks. It's just a bunch of plastic containers. But this truck wasn't really meant for loading at the docks anymore, because my colleague who used to drive this, he always did building sites, so he had big metal cages, and they always put it on from the side or from the roof. So they welded in some metal plates on the floor to make it a bit sturdier and to slide a bit easier than the wooden floor and to not damage that. But over time the metal has started to warp a little bit, and all those plastic containers, they are stacked almost to the roof of the trailer on a pallet with just one strap around them, so they're not very sturdy, and driving over those warped metal plates, yeah, it's I I had to be very careful not to drop any pallets, but it did work out in the end. Now it's about 7.5 hour drive till yeah, 7 hours and a bit driving, and then tomorrow morning I can unload all these goods and then probably head back to the warehouse to get my truck again for Friday. Currently I'm taking my 45-minute break. I stopped at a gas station just before Paris, and lucky for me there's McDonald's here because I do have food with me for the night, but I didn't think to bring food for this noon, so it's about 4 more hours to my drop-off, but I don't think I'm gonna head all the way to my drop-off. I think I'm gonna stop just before there to at another gas station to have my night rest there. So I just parked up. I didn't go to check-in yet because I'm planned for tomorrow, and I do think I'm gonna leave it for tomorrow because it's almost 6 o'clock, so I'm not sure if they're gonna be open for much longer, and I don't want to bother them if they're gonna close very soon, and my appointment is tomorrow anyway. But I got a message. I have a return freight for tomorrow. It's 2 hours from here, but it's already on the way back, so it works out fine. I'm gonna put some food in the microwave, gonna tidy up my bed a little bit because it's a mess. Yesterday was just one big rush and mess, so I threw everything I needed in here and I haven't cleaned up since. So gonna clean that up a bit, have something to eat, and then probably call it a night. Now that I'm parked up, I figured it's a perfect time to show you guys the truck from a little bit further distance because there's plenty of space here. It's me and then 3 other trucks, from which 2 other guys are sleeping here. 1 truck is just parked here. And then when I leave the parking tomorrow morning, I just literally go around the corner and I'm at my unloading site. So yeah, the truck I have with me, so I told you guys it's an older DEF XF, but as you can see it's a rigid with then a trailer attached to it. It's pretty strange for me to drive with something like this. When you reverse, you have to keep your corner a bit longer than you normally do with a semi truck and trailer, but Yeah, here it was an issue. There's plenty of space. Tomorrow morning we have to put against the docks, I guess, so we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be a bit of a challenge. And then when I looked on Google Maps, my return freight is probably gonna be loaded from the site, so that should be easy, should be big enough space to just turn around. And then it's back to the warehouse where the docks aren't that bad either, so yeah, should all work out great. Good morning. I just freshened up, cleaned up the truck a little bit, so tonight when I have to switch back to my truck it's a little bit easier. The weather is absolute shit today. It's raining and even a bit of smelting snow, so yesterday was way better. It was sunny. Okay, it was cold, but the sun was shining, so that was fine. But today it's raining, it's windy, it's snowy, so we'll have to be cautious on the road because this truck, the tires aren't the best anymore. Since we were gonna sell it, they didn't replace the tires yet. Well, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's snowing pretty hard at this point. But yeah, they did open at 7:30, so I was able to get inside really quickly. And I was hoping I could just unload at the dock, but first put the first 3 pallets out of the truck because you can't put the plate. And yeah, sadly enough, it's not against the dock to unload. I made onto the highway. I didn't run for quite a while because the weather is absolutely horrible. And when I left, I got stuck right away. So I got out of the site, then you have a roundabout, and then I have to go over a little bridge. And I was going up the bridge, and my wheels just kept spinning and spinning. I couldn't get any grip, so I had to go back down to the roundabout, take a little run up. Then I managed to make it over the bridge. But it was starting to snow more heavily. It was -2 degrees, but there was quite a bit of wind, so it felt really cold. It was snowing really heavily. The roads were all covered with ice, and I don't think they suspected it because there weren't any salt trucks or anything. So the roads were covered in snow and ice, and I knew that first 60 or 70 kilometers I had to go was all up and down on little roads through small villages. And it was working out for a little bit, and then it was quite a big hill, and I almost made it up there, but then I got stuck. So I had to back down the hill. I put myself aside on the parking. Some guys from roadwork came. They said the road's a bit farther up, it's closed anyway, so yeah, you're not gonna make it. Because I asked, like, if I take a little run up, maybe. They were like, no, it's very slippery at the top, you're never gonna make it. Just wait here on the parking until this afternoon maybe, then it should clear up a little bit. So while I was doing that, I checked if we have any chains in this truck. And there are chains in this truck, but they're 6 years old and they were like water, so they were completely rusted. I can't do anything with them. And I knew the road I took yesterday, so the same one I was planning on taking today. There was a very steep uphill this time coming right after a bend, so yeah, I figured if that's gonna be icy, that's not gonna work. So I took the detour and hoped there wasn't too many clouds, and the detour actually worked out pretty okay. So I'm on the highway. I have 2 more hours of driving to my pickup, and then drop off is probably gonna be tomorrow since I lost quite a bit of time being stuck and having to drive a bit more cautious. And I might end up in traffic since it's snowing and raining. And yeah, yesterday it was all sunny and nice. It was cold, but it was sunny. And this morning I wake up with a little bit of snow. It's nothing too bad. Yeah, now it just turned into kind of a snowstorm. But with all that was going on, I forgot to film. I just want to get out of there so I can make it home tonight because I don't have any food left and I don't have that much water with me. And I was stuck in the middle of nowhere, so I couldn't go to a shop to buy anything. So yeah, I couldn't stay there. I've arrived at my pickup destination, but apparently you need a reference to load and they didn't give me any reference. So now I sent a message to my planner and I'm just waiting to get a message back with the reference. Hopefully that comes very quickly because after this it's a 5-hour drive, and with the snow that's happening it would be better if I did drive over Paris, but there's gonna be traffic in Paris, so yeah, it's gonna be more than a 5-hour drive, and I need to take a break in between then anyway. So at this point it's almost 6 o'clock in the evening. I'm not gonna make it back to our warehouse, so I'm just gonna take this truck home. But I know tomorrow I'm staying in Belgium, and actually very close to my house. So I think tomorrow morning I'm gonna go switch trucks. It's still 3 hours and a half. Yeah, 3 hours and a half driving till I go home. I do have to take a break because I only have 2 hours and 15 minutes left of driving time. Good morning, it's now Friday morning. Yesterday I didn't film that much because it was an absolute shit show of a day. So I got stuck in the snow, then I had a pretty long drive through the snow trying to get onto the highway. Then I had to go to a place to load. When I finally arrived there, they told me you need a reference number or we cannot load. So I was calling with dispatch, seeing to get a reference number. That took about 2 hours, and then some other guy who worked there, he showed me papers like, is this what you need? Like, yep, 14 pallets, Belgium, this is the customer for who we are driving. Why they couldn't find that in like 10 minutes without reference, I don't know, but eventually they found it, and turns out it was only going to be ready today at 3 o'clock, so not yesterday. So I got to drive home empty, but the first idea was to go back to the warehouse to switch trucks for my drive today. But because I had to go over Paris and it was snowing, there was quite a bit of traffic. Everything got delayed, but anyway, it's Friday morning now. I just got in the old truck. Now I'm driving to the warehouse. There I'm gonna pick up my truck, and then we have 3 customers to start with today. All pretty easy, pretty around the corner. So hopefully today is a bit of a better day than it was yesterday. My day is starting very good at this point. So I was driving with another trailer than the one I used to have, but they switched it out again. So now I have my old trailer back, the 119, which is a great trailer. It has all the aluminum in it. So yeah, I'm just quickly gonna put some gas in my forklift and then hang it on the back so we can leave. Just unloaded my first customer. Now it's about an hour drive to the second one, then about half an hour to an hour to the third one. After that we'll send a message, see what's up. That's the second one done. Now it's off to Brussels for one more pallet. I'm not quite sure about the address. It looks like a pretty small place, but then again, Google Maps, it's not always very accurate. It also doesn't say that there's limitations for heavy goods or anything like that. But I did see some parking spaces for trucks just around the corner there, so. Well, I'm unloaded. I first went to the address the guys gave me, but they were loading another truck there, so it was a very narrow corner to get in, but it was doable. But then the worst part was, so there was another truck loading there, so I had to pass him, which barely fit, and I had to drive around the block again to come to the other gate at the other side, where I first passed. But right on the intersection there was another truck unloading, and yeah, there was a very tight corner. I had centimeters to spare between my truck and his front, so. Just parked up for my 30-minute break, and I did get a message. I have one more load to pick up and then head to the warehouse with that. But guys, please, if you're a truck driver, please don't blindly follow the GPS. So I was in Brussels, I unloaded my delivery. Going there, the GPS was fine. It was the best way. I think it was the best way to get there. But then when I wanted to leave, so going there, you come off the main street, you take a right and then left, you unload and then you're back on the main street. But I had to go around again to unload at the front, and then my GPS told me instead of left, just once left and then follow straight. So I figured I'd give it a go. I ended up at a roundabout, pretty tight, but that worked out. Took the roundabout, took another roundabout, was zigzagging a little bit, but all doable. And then at a certain point it was like turn right here, and I zoomed out and was like go right and go left and go right and go left. All kind of weird corners, weird streets, like I don't know what it was thinking. So I ignored that. I just went straight 200 meters, then to the right, and was back on the main road and on the highway in about 10 minutes. So please don't blindly trust your GPS. Use your common sense. And if you don't know where you're going, just look on Google Maps beforehand. Use satellite images. I always do that. If I don't know where I'm going and I don't know the area, I use satellite images to see if what my GPS is saying is making any sense. As you saw, my truck loaded. I did put it to the truck wash. I washed my forklift as well. I got 2 new batteries for the truck because they were, yeah, their life was ending. My curtain was also broken, that's fixed also, and I'm loaded for Monday. So now just gonna head home and it's time for the weekend. And when we get home, I'll explain to you guys why I'm in a different truck and why I just got my trailer back. That's me all finished for today. Just really quickly cleaning my mirrors. And I was also going to explain why it happened that I have another truck and why I just now got my old trailer back. I actually left this job for a little while. I figured somewhere else it was gonna be better, and yeah, it was totally different work. So I was driving with a low loader, transporting machines, and also doing some bigger loads, wider, longer, because I needed to challenge myself and I wanted to try something new. After a while I started wondering, like, is this something, because it's a very physical job. Like, this job is also physical. You do have to work. It's not just drive, put yourself against the dock, wait till they unload and then drive some more. You have to unload yourself. Using the forklift, it helps a little bit, but you also get a bit more work. But in comparison, this job against transporting machines and heavy equipment and exceptional things, this is a lot easier and a lot less exhausting. And also one of the things, I missed going international. So with that job, I only stayed in Belgium. Sometimes I went to France, but I was home every evening, and I do like being home, but I also like going on longer trips and seeing a bit of the world. I gave that a go for a few months, and well, I challenged myself. I figured it wasn't for me in the long run. So I went back here. We talked about the issues I had before, why I also left. Some of the issues are resolved, some things are just the way they are, and yeah, there's gonna be something. Anywhere you work, there's gonna be issues. No job is perfect, and this one isn't any exception. But some things have changed, some things have become better. So yeah, I'm back here, and I hope you guys liked this video. This was a week in the life of a Belgian truck driver. It was kind of a weird week. Not every week is like this, not every week I change trucks. This was actually the second time since working here that I switched to another truck to do a load. But yeah, as I said, I like to challenge myself, and with that I helped the company because they had no one to do the load, and it could only be done in a truck like that. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of my content, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.